Mr. Stankowski and myself have gone through a number of applications. We had a number of folks from the city that have contacted us. What we tried to do, and so everybody is clear on this, is we tried to get as professional a group as we possibly can. We vetted them, we asked several questions, whether they were members of Good to Great or Yes We Can or any of the other school organizations, education organizations. We asked questions about them, about their involvement. We also wanted to get as professional a group as we possibly could. Now, somehow, somewhere in all that, I'm going to blame it on Stankowski and he can say whatever he wants to say, somebody suggested that this was, quote, the first school board of the Fairhope Independent School District. I can tell you there is nothing further from the truth. I don't know how to say it. So for anybody that asks, this has nothing to do with this. What this has to do with is the city council believes that our education system, we want to look and see what we can do and what we can't do, how we can improve the schools, or if we can improve the schools. And that is our sole goal. And the way we envision this committee working is that we're going to, hopefully it'll pass tonight, there'll be 6 members, that they will comprise a committee. Stankowski and I are just going to set kind of aside and be an ex officio meeting of members. But we are going to arrange for them to meet with Dr. Lee and Bob Callahan, who's Fairhope's representative on the school board, and to come up with a joint mission statement. Then what we envision is that this group will determine what, if anything, Fairhope schools need. If they say, come back and say, oh, these are the greatest schools ever, I'll be shocked, but you know, maybe we don't need anything. But what we envision them doing is bringing back a list of recommendations about how, in their professional opinion, they believe schools could be improved. Step 2 of the process is then to cost out how much each of those individual recommendations would cost. And so we'll have a list, and maybe there'll be 10 items on it, maybe there'll be 20, but there'll be a list, a corresponding list of how much each of those recommendations will cost. And then thirdly, the next thing is that they'll bring that list to the city council. And if the council believes that it's worth trying, what we're going to do is we're going to say, yeah, we believe that these items are worth trying, these are worth doing, and we may well vote on it. But then we're going to put that, or at least it's our intention, and I'll say it like this, is because we're going to be dealing with discretionary funds, because monies from city government are not historically used for education, particularly when there's a Board of Education that's active and functioning, and these are discretionary funds. We're going to put it to the citizens of Fairhope and say, do you want to spend X number of dollars to get this type of improvements in our school system? So it's ultimately going to be the citizens of Fairhope that will make any decision about how the monies are used. But this group of people, and I tell you, it's amazing to me that Fairhope has the type and the number of folks that they do that know what the heck they're talking about in the field of education and a lot of other things. I tell you what, the people that didn't make the cut would have been a great committee. And they would have done a great job. But we have 6 names of 6 people, and I'll name them: Gretchen Schafter, Henry Clark, Jim Kellum, Bob Riggs, Karen Mullins, and Julia Summerlin. Excuse me, Julia. But these 6 people are all professionals. They've all worked as principals, as teachers. Most of them have been principals, assistant superintendents, or superintendents. So it's not like Kingery and Stankowski are making the decision on this, because we're not. We're having professional people that Fairhope happens to be blessed with that are here in town. and we're going to use them to the best of their abilities to develop and to look at our school system with the help of Dr. Lee and Bob Callahan and the Board of Education for Baldwin County to find out what we in Fairhope can do to improve the schools. And that's the long and the short of it from our end. I believe that this committee, I will tell you, I didn't agree with everybody that went on it. Dan didn't agree with everybody that went on it. We took suggestions from a lot of different people, and nobody had this same 6 in the whole group. So it's a collaboration of opinions that we have, and I believe this committee, if we give them the right information, can come back and tell us how we can improve our schools in Fairhope, which to me is very, very important.
Okay, thanks. Dan?
Yeah, just another word on how they were selected. I personally contacted all of the other council members and the mayor and provided them with all of the applications of the individuals that applied for this committee and asked for their input. I did receive input from everyone, and as Rick said, not everyone got their own pick. Some would have preferred others, and it's a balanced committee. I really think it's a balanced committee, and we do have some talent. I would like to thank all of those that applied, because there was a lot of talent. And I think that we can move forward and try to make the schools better. We can't bury our heads in the sand and say that the schools are perfect, because we hear the state's budget's going to be cut, the county budget's going to be cut, and there are problems that are on the horizon, if not already arriving. Class sizes, equipment, labs, all of these things come into play. And I think we would be remiss if, as a city, we didn't come forward in a proactive manner and look at our schools and say, how can we make them better? How can we, as Dr. Lee likes to say, how can we make world-class schools? And if you have world-class schools, people and businesses will come to your community. You don't have to recruit them. They come because they have children, and they want their children to have the best education that they can get for them. And the people that do this are the people that make the decisions for these companies as to where companies are located and where they are going to put their families. So it is very important that we continue to strive to get the best school system that we can, and we need to look at our own schools here in Fairhope as a starting place. And again, not to beat the dead horse, I personally asked all the people that I've interviewed or talked to about this, do you have a predisposition towards a school system, a private, or not a private, a separate school system, or staying with the county? And I was assured that they would be open-minded and look at all possibilities.
Okay, could I have a motion to appoint these 6 named, these individuals to the Educational Advisory Committee?
I so move.
Might as well say
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I just want to state that I think this is a good first step. If any of y'all read the paper this weekend, you saw, or the end of last week, where the school board member for the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area went and asked Gulf Shores for $1 million over the next 3 years to help with teachers and equipment. So this is getting ahead of it, because I know they're going to be coming. We all know they're going to be coming if you've been reading anything in the paper. So I think this gets us ahead of the schedule.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
One comment. I know Jim Kellum is here. Is anyone else?
Bob Riggs is in the back. I see
Bob
him.
Riggs is in the back. Would y'all stand so folks can see you? Okay, that's 2. Anyway, we'll be getting with you.
Okay.